Ladies and gentlemen, I made you a promise and it's time to deliver on that promise. Starting now, this vlog is weekly. That means that you can watch this vlog every Sunday right here at 6 p.m. Pleasure to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. Bye. You'll get to see all of the things that we built out of this moment if you make the decision to follow us. Hit the subscribe button if you want to. Appreciate you for tuning in. Behind the Diary. I'm 31 years old now, right? I started in business at about 14, and I've been doing business ever since. And the interesting thing that I've come to learn from both doing my podcast and running businesses myself is about the importance of company culture. There's really 3 things you have to do if you want to be a CEO. And in this episode, I'm going to try and give you a little window into that world. How do you get the best out of a team? How do you build company culture? Watch this. Today I have 6 meetings in total with investments that I've made this year, a variety of different investments that are coming in today from a variety of different industries. I sit with them, we do updates, we do catch-ups, I give advice, we look at their business, we see how we can help. And the first one will be here in a second, so let's go.
What have you found the biggest difference from when you were at Social Chain with all these people and like now with all these different companies with all the different people?
It's just my life is much easier because like when you have smaller teams that you can control the culture better.
Yeah.
And it's one office, it's one group of people, it's very easy to manage. So we've spoke a lot about just trying to keep the team as small as possible.
What do you think the challenges are?
Yeah, for sure, cash flow. We've never actively worked on how to improve our cash flow.
They're investing in founders, they're investing in team. So if you want to raise at like a really high valuation, it all comes back to making sure you've got a team that have walked all of those paths, every single one of them. That is actually what I came to learn in business generally. It's like, it's just about assembling a great group of people. And in your industry, it's that will mean that your valuation can be taxed, literally. So before you did a fundraise, it'd be the first thing I'd be thinking about is like how we need to look. And so for Flight Story, before I started the company, I contacted, WPP, like one of the biggest marketing groups in the world, worth 150 billion, took their CFO. So I was like, can you come and Andy come work for us? He had got Dentsu and all that. And I said, who else do you know that's got like an unbelievable CV? They said, there's this guy called Neil who did WPP, which is worth, I don't know how many billions, Dentsu, Merkle, these are all 10, $20 billion marketing groups. I said, get Neil as well. And then me. And what I always try and do, and we have Rebecca as well, I try and balance the perception. Young kid that's scrappy, great.
Yeah.
Then you've got grey hair.
Yeah.
And you go, they're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I used to do this a lot when we used to pitch like Coca-Cola and Apple and Amazon. I'd be like, okay, who are we pitching to and how do we need to look in terms of experience to make sure they don't see a gap? You could walk around the office and go, I want you to come to the pitch. Even people that just like had nothing to do with it, I'd say, I need you to come to the pitch. Long story, but just to balance out perception, because much of it is psychology, much of it. So I think that's number one thing.
Hi.
Sorry for being late, Chris.
It's great to meet you.
I'm Charlotte. Chris is fabulous. Lovely to meet you. Congrats on your book.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, congrats on yours, because what a smash hit.
Well, that is, we can bit of mutual congrats. I've really been enjoying yours.
Everyone around me, it seems, has suddenly been talking about this book, so everyone, it just feels like you just get hit from it from everywhere. So it's been the topic of so many conversations around it. So it's incredible. Once upon a time, books come along that just do that. They hit culture at the right time with the right message, written in an inclusive way, and that's exactly what your book is. I actually fell asleep last night listening to it again on audiobook. So I woke up this morning and I was like, who's that voice?
Chris,
what am I still droning on?
It was you on the pillow next to me.
And then I'm in your dreams all night.
Yeah, well, you must have been, because I fell asleep listening and I woke up and it was still playing. I was thinking, who is that voice on the pillow next to me? Because my girlfriend wasn't there, so it was you.
It's going to be very creepy and me now.
Yeah.
In LA, those are all, it's a picture.
And is it purely for consistency, or is there almost like a talismanic element to having this particular tonal scheme and the shelves.
I don't really know why we do it.
But it's not superstitious, or because I definitely have these things we try.
Well, yeah. So I mean, I kind of had an answer back in the day. Now I just think we think that brand aesthetic is part of the show. When we were very small and we were struggling to get guests on, we wanted to create the impression that people were coming to us. Still, so we were flying to New York to have Richard Branson on, and we were like, wouldn't it be cool? I said to Jack, wouldn't it be cool if we just built the set in New York? So it was like national holiday in New York.
It was
wasn't it?
Thanksgiving, yeah.
So Jack was like, yeah, fine. So Jack flew there and built the set.
Yeah.
Which is
I bet you were
the same
living.
wallpaper, the same
most
books.
stressful period of my life.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, we're going on holiday tomorrow. I'm like, what? I need to get all this stuff. Anyway, I'm gonna. I don't think we've got much
Okay,
time.
we're
so-
going to wander up.
Yeah.
I feel so dressed up. I come to London. I had to wear a suit. I had to buy this suit.
Really?
Yeah, because you have to wear a suit to go to Downing Street, and in here in London I'm told they're more formal. So I'm like, but I don't really have a suit. Or I have a suit jacket that doesn't match my suit pants, and so I had to go get a
It's
suit.
well fitted.
Yeah, well I had it tailored, so
There you go.
now if somebody gets married, I can wear this.
At the very beginning, I saw this email.
This is from August 1st, 2008. We were trying to raise money. For everyone trying to raise money, I want you to know that Airbnb was trying to raise $150,000 at a $1.5 million, I think, post-money valuation. And here's one of many rejection letters. Hi, Brian. Apologies for the delayed response. We've had a chance to discuss internally and unfortunately don't think that it's right for fill-in-the-blank investment firm from an investment perspective. The potential market opportunity did not seem large enough for a required model. I want you to just put in this perspective. Airbnb handles nearly as much money as the entire GDP of the country of Croatia today. One in about every $1,500 spent in the world, about $1 spent on Airbnb. That's a pretty large market. And our business is pretty much the same idea as the idea that we proposed that person who said our market opportunity wasn't large enough. So there's probably a myriad of lessons in that, aren't there? It's a reminder that the world doesn't just change, or at least it doesn't just transform towards our dreams, ideals, and ambitions. That requires certain types of people that believe the world could be a little different than the one that they live in. And they have the ability to convince other people to go on that journey with them. And when people are tired and they say, I want to sleep, you say, yes, we're going to rest, but we got to go. Just 500 more steps. I know it's right over the edge. I think we can do a little bit better. And can you push people outside their comfort zone? Like a trainer, you're like 3 more reps and you don't want to do it. And then that very moment, they're not your friend, but at the end of the workout, you're like, thank you for pushing me that hard. This is that kind of person. And can you take divergent ideas that no one's ever seen before and just continue to reformulate them? Could you store these ideas in your head, 1,000 competing ideas, and just reformulate them in your mind? It turns out this stuff is difficult, but you can work your way up there. Most people watching this have the skill set to be an entrepreneur. And I think that if you want the world to change, we need more entrepreneurs. We need more founders. If you want to empower more women, you should make more women entrepreneurs. If you want to lift up more economies around the world, you should lift up entrepreneurs in those economies. It's one of the greatest ways to create wealth, to change the world, and to just change the trajectory of society.
All right, I'm wearing my outfit like you. Look at this. Now we're dressed similar.
Thank you so much, Brian.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
That was insane. That was really good.
So good.
I was so engaged.
So was I.
Yeah, so that was good.
Mirror image.
Well, there's little variations on the way we articulate things, but I think what I've come to learn is that the same principles are consistent. People can be different. Daniel's different from him, and I'm different from both of them, but the underlying principles should be human principles. They should sound pretty similar. That's what I'm trying. I'm getting closer and closer to similarity. It's what when people ask me about the podcast a lot, I say I was expecting to find these, you go on the search of all these differences, but the more podcasts you do, you actually end up just compounding similarities.
Yeah.
Which is great because you're finding answers.
Yeah, but then lots of people can relate as well. And that's like what a lot of the stuff he was saying there was a lot of the stuff that I could draw parallels with the Diary of a CEO.
100%.
And that like you could probably even draw more parallels with Social Chain.
100%.
Yeah, really, really good.
I thought it was immense.
It was on fucking rocket fuel at the start.
Yeah, I know. But he was so, I was like, what is going on here? Like, there's a moment where I'm like, and then I'm just like, go on, go for it. And he's like,
You're like, come on, Steve, interrupt.
It's like, where's my phone? I sent an email. He's like, da, 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 da. He's like, can I read the email? I'm like, read the email. He's like, da, 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 da. He's like, can I interrupt? I was like, oh yeah, so funny. But I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah, really nice guy.
I think it was my favourite ever CEO conversation ever.
Yeah, I think so as well.
On our way to do a shoot with Zoe. Zoe's a company that my fund invested $2.5 million in about a year ago now. Business has been absolutely rocketing. I'm a brand ambassador and they sponsor the podcast as well, but it's just a company that I love and believe represents the future in a really, really big way. Tim Spector, who's been on my podcast twice now, is going to be there as well. Frederica, who's the head of nutrition at Zoe, she's super genius. I'm really looking forward to it. It's one of those complete deals that I have in my life that I've tried to foster, where I'm an ambassador for the brand. I can help the team in any way that I can, and I'm an investor and I'm a part owner of the business as well. So, and it's a business that I think has the chance to become one of the most successful companies that have ever come out of the UK. So, exciting business. I had this gut pain that I'd lived with for 3 or 4 years, and I just assumed that I was, for lack of a better word, broken. And using Zoe allowed me to figure out exactly what part of my diet was causing that gut pain, remove it, and replace it with something that I actually preferred more, that removed the adverse sort of gut and stomach reaction that I was having. Thank you. I'll see you soon. Yes.
As like the quickest time possible. I felt like yesterday we came to your kitchen. Just sat around the table just trying to figure out what the podcast set looked like. I was like drilling into Steve's ceiling, just trying to put these curtains up. First one I put the Velcro in, it fell down. All like the bumps and stuff that we've done in the bloopers since.
Cut to the bloopers. Studies where they'll get a... What is that?
It sounds like I think it's a drill.
It's knowing that. It's being on the path. Some people... Hello, darling. We're in the middle of recording.
Or like the one where I think it was, we didn't have an episode to put out over Christmas, so we had to do part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we'll do solo and we'll just split it into 2 parts. And then halfway through the podcast, one of the cameras falls down.
Like agile startup or real.
And then I pulled a plug and it whacked and hit my laptop and the screen went. I was like, how am I going to edit this podcast? And yeah, it was during COVID I think, so I had to go around a friend's house and I was sitting in their cellar in their little thing, just editing on this shitty screen that I found in their basement. And then now we don't really make many mistakes during the podcast, so it's good. But yeah, it's been a wild ride. And
Crazy ride. Before the Diary of a CEO, many of you don't know, there was actually another series called Everyday Entrepreneurs. Everyday Entrepreneurs was the first series that I did, and I did like Deliciously Ella, Alfie Days, and then I just felt fabulous. I just did Ben from Gymshark at Gymshark HQ, then I stopped.
I think I got a screenshot somewhere, it's like, what are you doing work-wise? And I was like, not much. I'm like, cool, I'm moving to London on Monday, here's where I'm staying, you want to run the podcast, please? And I was like,
sounds like
yeah.
me.
Well, thank
Cool,
you.
thank you. On my way over to Flight Story, which is my marketing business. We have 120 people. Company was founded 24 months ago. Every 3 months or so we get together and discuss our progress, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. The CEO, Oliver, is going to be presenting, and you'll see Penny, who's the head of marketing. And we just go through everything. We get together. The teams from LA, Manchester, New York, South Africa will all call in virtually. And then in the room we have the team that are based here in London, which will be about 50 people roughly. So yeah, looking forward to it. It's nice to see everybody. It's nice to take stock of everything that's going on, and we recently did a culture report to understand where the business is in terms of company culture. We measure company culture at Flight Story. Much of what we want to do is share some of those results, but also talk about the things we can do to move ourselves up the culture rankings. Hello everybody.
For everyone here, all hands is just a real opportunity for us to do a few things. First, get together. It's an opportunity for us to reflect on what we've achieved, and today is about celebrating everybody's collective achievements. And the third thing is to say, at a company level, what do we want to do and where are we headed? You know, we have these words on our website that say we keep brands at the forefront of what's possible. And words are just words until they mean something. And I'll give, I suppose, my take on why I think this is important. But Steve, I'd love you to share it. In fact, you do it better than me. You go ahead.
Yeah, so I've thought so much about how you create company cultures, and I believe that in teams and cultures, you have to first get clear on the opportunity that you're pursuing in the world as a team. From there, there's quite clearly, you can reverse engineer a set of behaviors that you need to exhibit as a group of people to achieve that opportunity. From those behaviors, you have a set of philosophies and values that we need to embody to achieve those behaviors. If we have these values, then we achieve those behaviors. If we achieve those behaviors, then we achieve that opportunity. And then those values and philosophies become systems and processes. They become like the everyday things, the way the business is designed. Let's go back upwards. So if we have really good systems and processes and we have the right people, then we're going to embody a certain set of values and philosophies. If we embody those values and philosophies, there'll be a certain set of behaviors, and those certain set of behaviors will achieve the worthy opportunity we're pursuing in the world. So one of the really huge opportunities I see for a business like Flight Story is to be lean in people. In a world where lean in people are going to be more valuable than ever before with every day that passes. So if we have that as a philosophy and value, then what are the systems and processes? In that example, you then need to build into the teams to make sure that we embody that, so that these just aren't words written on the wall, which I think a lot of us will probably say they're words on the wall right now, because it's lacking in the systems and processes, it's lacking in the clear values and philosophies that make us actually behave in that way. And that's my TLDR.
Sadghuru, one of the most viewed gurus in the world. His mission is to raise every human being to the peak of their potential, who has built one of the largest nonprofit organizations in the world.
Hello. Hello, all of you.
This is beautiful, by the way. You definitely overshadowed me.
From India, I've been pushing this fashion for peace, largely organic material plus hand-woven stuff, because India has 132 unique ways of weaving the cloth. Many of them will go extinct in the next few years if we don't support it with the market. So I was part of the New York Fashion Week to give all this material to some of the top designers where they design clothes and stuff. But my clothes I design myself, so.
Oh, really?
Yes, of course.
So do I. Thank you, sir.
We've got 10.
Finish you. I serve cupcakes from a 14-year-old daughter.
Oh my gosh.
But I must introduce you to her.
Okay, this is your daughter. Okay. Thank you so much. You make these
Hi,
cupcakes.
my name is Zara. I'm 14 years old,
wow.
and I'm the CEO and owner of my company called Heaven's Delight.
I'm so impressed.
I've been baking since I was 7 years old. I know you've got to go, I'm so sorry. I've been baking since I was 7 years old. And then in 2020, I decided to turn it into a business.
Oh my gosh. Well, if you need some help, my email is steven@stevenbartlett.com. And let me know. You can come hang out in our office, you can come, with your mother's permission, come learn what we do and how we do it. I'd love if you want to come do an internship. I don't know what the age is to do an internship, but you're both welcome to come over and see what we do and how we do it if you want. So, steven@stevenbartlett.com, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day, yeah? Thank you so much. It's great meeting you.
Stephen, I love your podcast. I have to say, I love them so much. I listen to them all the time. Whilst I'm at work, I'm quite busy. My manager's always asking me, what are you doing? And I say, I'm working, but really I am listening to your podcast today. And I've come to ask you. I've come to ask you if there is any way, shape or form that I could just have a few minutes of your time.
I'll give you something better than a few minutes of my time now. If you want to come and intern with us for a month in my office, then you can come. Yeah. Phoenix will give you my details. We'll give you my phone number.
Stephen, if you could give your advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Those who think they can and those who think they can't are both usually right. Thank you. Thanks so much. Oh, wow. Thank you, brother.
God bless you, man.
Thank you, man. I hope you enjoyed that. Next week is a big week because we are flying to Los Angeles. Crazy, crazy busy week out there. But, big but, I'm also having my brain scanned, which is slightly terrifying, and to figure out if I'm neurodivergent. Make sure you're here next week, Sunday, 6 p.m. to watch the vlog. You're gonna love that one of my favorite episodes of all time. And hit the subscribe button if you like this episode, hit the like button, leave a comment below. We read every single comment you leave on this video, every single one, every single week, because we're still trying to learn how to deliver a good piece of content to you. Thank you for listening this week. I'm very tired, as you can probably tell, and I'll see you next week.